going on, guys? And today we're going to be going over a god build guide for Bacchus support, and this is for the end of season 4. This is right before the HRX and the Smite worlds and all of that. So if you don't know Bacchus's abilities, you can go ahead and pause it right there and look at them if you want. We're going to jump right into the god build guide. Now, like I said, this is Bacchus support. So, like most supports, you're going to be getting that double starter item of Watcher's Gift and Lono's Mask. This is just going to allow you to just heal up off of camps and waves and stuff like that without having to do a whole lot and use your mana. For your shoes, I would normally recommend Traveler shoes when you're going support, and you could still do that. You can't go wrong with Traveler shoes here. It's not a bad thing. But for this build, I'm going to recommend Shoes of the Magi. The pen boots are really good. Gives you 45 power and that 10 penetration, which is key for this build because this build specifically revolves around being tanky and being a support, but because you are Bacchus, still being able to do some damage. Whenever you belly flop burp combo someone, they're going to sit there, take a good chunk of health and be like, what the hell was that? Or whenever you blink in and ult or something like that and their Joe's just half their health, they're going to be like, whoa, alright, he means business. So it's kind of a build for that, so that's why I recommend pen boots. Next item is just the staple of supports right now in Season 4, and that's Jade Emperor's Crown. If you're running support, you pretty much always want this item in most scenarios. It gives you 20 power, which is good for this build, like I said. 50 protection, physical protection I should say, 100 health, and then it gives that aura effect of enemies having their physical power reduced. So it's just overall a good item. Now after that, we're going for another hybrid item, and that is Voidstone. It gives you 150 health, 20 power, and 60 protection. And they have their magical protections reduced by 20. So Voidstone and Jade Emperor's Crown are very similar. Jade will give you a little bit of protection and health, physical protection and health I should say, while Voidstone gives you magical protection and health. So essentially they're just the magical and physical version of each other. After these two items are done, you're going to want to go into Hide of the Urchin. Now, I know this has kind of fallen out of the meta a little bit in Season 4, but it's still a good item. It is 2450, gives you 30 protections in physical and magical, which is good. You get that double defense, but it also gives you 250 health and 300 mana. So you get mana, you get health, and you get double protections. You get everything, but it doesn't stop there. You also gain 3 physical and magic protections for each god and assist you get, up to 10 stacks. So you get an extra 30 physical and magic protection. So when you're done stacking on this item, you'll have 60 physical protection, 60 magical protection, 250 health, and 300 mana. Just a really good item. And by this time in the game, after you get your shoes, Jade, and Voidstone, these are relatively cheap items, along with the double starters. You'll be starting to get kills and assists. So this is when the stacking will really happen. So it's a good time to get this. At some point, you're going to be selling both your starter items, obviously. And this is where we get a little zesty. You're going to be wanting to get couple items here. It really depends. One of them might be Ethereal Staff. This is if you are snowballing and if you don't know what snowballing is, that just means that your team is just curb stomping them. You know, you're just leveling far more than they are. You're getting kills. You're almost untouchable. If you're snowballing, you can go ahead and jump on something like an Ethereal Staff. But what I would honestly recommend right here might be a little crazy. Soul Reaver. Now, if you ever see damage Bacchus, Soul Reaver is the item to go to. Now this is a hybrid Bacchus, so it's still good. It is 2750, so it's a little expensive, but it gives you 100 power and 300 mana. This isn't a tank item, this isn't a support item, but like I said at the start of this video, this is kind of a hybrid Bacchus support. Basically what this does is whenever you hit a god with an ability, you do the damage, so you'll do, let's say my burp would do 350 damage. It'll do that 350 damage, but it also does 10% of their maximum health in true damage, just by hitting an ability. You could hit an ability that's worth 1 damage, but you're still going to take 10% of their maximum health because of Soul Reaver. So it's just a great item. This works amazing with his ultimate. I mean, you just see him go from max health to like that much health when you hit their ultimate late game. Really good item. And then to finish it off, you're just going to get Mantle of Discord. 2900 gold gives you extra 60 physical protection, extra 60 magic protection, and 10% cooldown. Whenever you take damage below 30%, you unleash a shockwave that stuns all enemies for 1 second, and you gain CC immunity. So you basically get a little extra life, and with Bacchus being able to jump over walls, if you're in a 5v1, you get reduced to, well, 5v1 you probably get obliterated really quick, but let's say you're in a 3v2 or a 4v2, you get below 30%. Mantle stuns them, you jump over a wall, you get out free. So it kind of compensates for having that big power item like Soul Reaver, because you can still be tanky and be able to get out of the way. Obviously, you got the penetration and power from the boots. You still got defense from these two items, but you still have power. But you're also... These are also support items because of the aura effect they give, along with Hide of the Urchin being a support item in Mantle, and then you just got Soul Reaver, just to be that asshole in Bacchus and do some damage. Now, Relics are going to be pretty much the same throughout supports. Magic Shell is always good. You can't go wrong with it. Heavenly Wings, you cannot go wrong with. You can't go wrong with Frenzy, but if you're getting Frenzy, I would get that second item probably. So you could go ahead and get Shell at level 1 and then Frenzy at level 12, or Heavenly Wings at level 1 and then Shell at level 12, something like that. Blink is also really good on Bacchus for the Blink ultimate. I wouldn't get it first relic though. Blink and Frenzy would probably be the second relics I would recommend, and then Shell and Heavenly Wings between the first. That is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and hit subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, peace.